I want you to think about how often a student hears this phrase. If you don't get good grades, you won't succeed in life. Many parents, teachers, and even society repeat this phrase over and over again. Grades are treated like the most important thing a student can achieve in life, but I personally strongly believe that this mindset is wrong. Yes, grades do matter, and doing well in school is a valuable aspect. But when society glorifies academic grades and treats them like the only path that these students can have to success, it creates problems. It creates pressure, limits how we define success, and stops students from developing other important and useful skills that truly matter in life. Firstly, glorifying academic grades creates a very narrow definition of success. When students grow up constantly hearing that good grades is equivalent to success, and if they don't get good grades, they will never succeed in life, they start believing that a test score and report cards are the only things that matter in their life, letters and numbers. But success in the real world is far more complex than just a bunch of letters and numbers on a report card. Many of the qualities that help people succeed cannot even be measured by an exam. Skills like creativity, leadership, critical thinking, communication, problem solving, and innovation are extremely valuable skills that cannot be taught in school and cannot be measured by an exam. These are the skills that leads to new inventions that we see today, strong businesses, and important solutions to real-world problems today. However, when grades are treated as the most important achievement that these students can achieve in their life, their skills are undermined and overlooked. Students who are talented artists, are good at sports, leaders, and creative thinkers start to feel like their abilities do not matter simply because they are not reflected in a test score. Imagine a student who is an incredible designer, musician, athlete, or entrepreneur, but constantly hears that their future depends only on a grade. Over time, that student will start doubting their own abilities. When we glorify grades too much, we send the message that intelligence only looks one way. There's only one shape of it. In reality, intelligence comes in many different forms, and success can take many different paths and looks different for everyone. Second, glorifying grades discourage creativity and motivation. When students feel like that their entire future depends on one academic result, even one singular bad grade can feel like the end of the world or a disaster for them. Instead of seeing mistakes and failure as an opportunity to learn and improve so that they can get better over time, students start fearing failure and would end up giving up and lose their motivation. They stop taking risks and they stop exploring new ideas because they worry about their grades dropping and they worry about failing and not succeeding. As a result, and because of that, many students only focus on memorizing information just to pass an exam. They study to get the right answer rather than understand the topic and actually absorb the topic. Learning becomes something that's stressful instead of something that's exciting and something that can work their brain. Education should inspire curiosity, creativity, and critical thinking within these students. Students should feel encouraged to do things like challenge ideas, ask questions, and explore their different interests and their potentials that they have. But when grades are glorified too much with letters and numbers, students will feel trapped in a system where numbers and letters matter more than learning and improving itself. This pressure also impacts the students who struggle academically. We know that not every student learns in the same way. Some have difficulties in learning and require different ways of learning, and not every student excels at exams. When society tells them that grades determine their success, many of these students start believing that they're not capable or intelligent or smart enough to actually succeed or build something on their life. Once someone truly believes that they cannot succeed, they begin to lose their motivation and begin to lose their willpower to actually try to make a change in this world or use their skill for something good. Some students even stop trying in school completely because they feel like their efforts will never simply be enough. This is incredibly damaging because it wastes the potential that these students are born with. There are many talented individuals who simply do not shine through traditional academic testing because their skills are not being tested in these education systems. Some people might argue that good grades act as a safety net for the future. They see that if someone fails a career path, strong academic results will still open doors for them. But this argument does not reflect how the modern world actually looks. today, we see that employers and organizations look for much more than just grades. They look for individuals who are able to think critically, communicate effectively, work with others, and adapt to challenges and try to find the solution for these challenges. In a world that is constantly changing every day, creativity and innovation are becoming the most valuable skills every day and becoming more valuable. New industries and jobs are created all the time. They're created every single day. Many of the careers that exist today did not even exist 10 or 20 years ago. In such a world, success depends on their ability to be creative, their problem-solving abilities, and their ability to adapt. A high test score and a high grade cannot guarantee that someone has these skills. Many people can also argue that studying hard for good grades builds persistence and discipline. While hard work, yes, is important, we can't deny that. Persistence does not only come from academics. People build determination through things like outside of academics, such as sports, personal challenges that they face every day, creative projects, leadership roles, and so many other experiences that they experience through their life. Facing difficulties and learning from mistakes and continuing to improve are what truly builds the resilience that they would end up having. School exams are only one small part of that process. Even for non-academic careers, grades are often not an important factor. In fields like art, design, music, entrepreneurship, and so many others, talent and creativity matter far more than the result of an exam. Many art schools, for example, focus heavily on a student's portfolio and ability to be creative or create original work. They want to see what the student can create and how they think or what their thought process is, not just what score they achieved on a test. What truly matters is the individual's ability to bring ideas to life and contribute something meaningful to society. So we have to ask ourselves an important question today. Should a person's future be judged by numbers and letters on a report card? Should one grade determine someone's confidence, opportunities, and sense of self-worth? I believe that the answer is clearly no. In conclusion, glorifying grades as the main measure of success is harmful. It creates unnecessary pressure, discourages creativity, and limits how we define success. Education should help students discover their strengths, build different skills, and grow as individuals. Success is not defined by numbers or letters on a report card. It is defined by a person's abilities, character, creativity, values, and the impact that they make on the world. Thank you.